Welcome back to We're Having Fun. Merry Christmas. I'm Mark.
Merry Christmas. I'm Krista. Talk over you because I didn't realize you were going to say I'm Mark.
We're just going to both talk the whole time. Got a lot to say.
Talk over each other.
We want to cut down the time, so we're just going to both talk at the same time.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So that it's not like 3 hours long.
Hi.
Hi.
Happy holidays.
Yeah, happy holidays.
We are ending up recording this Christmas Eve.
Yep.
And so we'll see when it gets out. Hopefully tonight or tomorrow.
Hopefully.
We got the booster shot over the weekend, and then I got real sick.
He did.
I took it hard.
Yep.
But after 2 days, I was good. So it delayed it a little bit, but we're here.
It did, yeah.
And we're getting ready for Christmas. And of course, we had to do a podcast before Christmas. People are traveling. They need to listen to us.
Yeah,
We're very important.
Uh-huh. Do we want to say what we did after we got our booster shots?
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, we're not going to go into detail.
We're not going to go into it. Yeah.
But we went to see.
We went and saw Spider-Man.
Yeah.
The first one with Tobey Maguire.
No.
Oh, no, did we not? Oh.
Spider-Man, what is it? No Way Home?
No Way Home.
Okay.
Yep. So we'll be talking about that probably when we get back.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Don't want to spoil it, I guess.
So.
But go see it so that you can listen to our episode, because we're going to spoil it like crazy.
Oh, we're gonna spoil everything. And I kind of want to go see it again.
Yeah, it was
it.
fun. It was good. That's all you need to know. We liked it and want to see it again.
Yep, so spoiler free. There you go.
Yeah, maybe over the break.
Maybe. So it comes highly recommended.
This week we have a little to go over. Since we recorded late, we're gonna do both Hawkeyes, both final Hawkeye episodes.
Yep.
And then my favorite Christmas movie, It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
It's a Wonderful Life. Well, you want to get into it?
Sure, let's go ahead and get into it. We've got 2 episodes
We got a lot to cover.
And a movie.
Yep.
That is not a very short movie.
Very eventful 2 episodes, too.
Oh, yeah.
So, we got a lot.
Yeah, we do.
All right, bear with us.
All right, Hawkeye episode.
Hopefully you have a long drive and you need a long episode.
I don't want this to be another long episode.
Well, we'll see.
I'm going to have to talk really fast, which is something I can't do.
We need Rob Thomas here.
Yeah.
Inside joke.
Okay, so Hawkeye episode 5.
Yes.
It starts off in 2018.
Okay.
Mark doesn't have notes for this, so
I've kind of forgotten.
We're going off of my notes.
I forgot most of episode 5.
Oh yeah, it kind of blended in with episode 6.
Yeah.
So it starts off in 2018.
I do remember it now. Okay.
You have Yelena.
Yes.
And another Black Widow.
Uh-huh.
And they are at a house. They break into a house, and there's a third widow there.
Yeah. They're trying to free her.
Yes, they're going to try to wake her up. So they put the red mist in her face, and she's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah,
she wasn't
her
brainwashed in the first place. So yeah, she's kind of mad that they ruined her rug.
Yeah.
They start talking. She tells them what she's been up to.
She's a contract killer.
Yes. And she's kind of sitting in there talking to the other widow while Yelena goes to the bathroom. Mm-hmm. And while she's in the bathroom, she gets snapped. And then she comes back immediately.
Yeah.
It's really weird because we haven't seen that happen before.
Right. We haven't really seen... We
have seen someone come back from being snapped. Yeah. Because in WandaVision... Yeah, because you had Monica that came back.
But we got to see what they see.
Yes.
And how just everything catches up.
Changed.
Yeah.
It was really weird.
The walls changed to different colors and yeah.
Yeah, because at first I was like, what in the world is happening? And then I was like, oh, it's the blip.
Yeah. So. Luckily they didn't rebuild the house, tear it down or something
And luckily that woman was
it.
still living there with her family.
Yeah, she had a kid and a husband. Yeah. They were confused.
They were very confused. And she was like, oh, okay, I see what's going on here.
Yeah. I mean, why would she have known what was happening? Because, I mean, if she just got blipped in, it wasn't like she was later than everybody else, blipping back.
She was the only one in that house that got blipped.
Yeah, but they don't know other people are coming back.
No, but they probably just saw her and it's like, oh, she's back, and that's the first time.
Yeah, but she took it pretty.
They did take it very well
for a person coming back after 5 years.
I mean, she did kind of stand in there for a little bit, so maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
I have no idea.
But she was very surprised.
Yes. So
she asked where her sister was, and they were like, oh boy. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
But I mean, they don't know either, because
I think it seemed like she knew.
But how could she have?
Because she's got the Black Widow network. She probably knows everything. And she's a contract killer. She's probably in the know on a lot of things.
I
That
guess.
stuff. I bet so.
All right.
It was probably on the news even. I mean, they're talking about the Avengers, like, Black Widow's dead today. We're not making a musical about her, but...
Okay. So, anyway, that was the beginning of it. And
she was eaten by wolves.
I was thinking that, and I didn't want to say it. She was delicious. I didn't want to say it, because some people will probably be like, what are they referencing?
Good old Dana Carvey SNL bit.
I love that one.
Gerald Ford dead today.
That's funny, because that's probably going to be the second Dana Carvey.
Yep.
Or the first, I should say, the first Dana Carvey thing we're going to reference.
Yep.
Because I'm sure that the other thing is going to get
yeah. Which I meant to watch that second thing. We got to watch that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. Anyway, so she was blipped. She came back, and she doesn't know where Natasha is. And then it goes to Kate, who is at her mom's house. They have like a little heart-to-heart. Mm-hmm. They look up. Her little tiny bow is on the... is on the wall, like the first bow that she had.
Yeah.
It was like a little teeny tiny bow.
Her baby
so
bow.
Cute. Anyway, she tells her mom about Jack and Sloan, the company, and everything.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, that can't be.
It's impossible.
Yeah, so I can't remember much else about that.
Yeah, not really. I think she was pretty upset about Clint, like, telling her to go on and get out of here. Mm-hmm. And so, and I think she kind of decided there she needs to go and do good things. So she grabbed her old bow off the wall, not the tiny one.
Mm-hmm. I can't remember when it happens, but at some point, Jack gets arrested.
I think that's a little later, but yeah.
I didn't write it down in my notes, but it happens.
Yeah, her mom does call the cops on him eventually and says, she checked into it and found out about him. So he gets hauled off.
So then it moves over to Kazi and Maya, and he's helping clean her up. And she's telling him that there was another woman on the roof with them.
Oh, yeah. She didn't know who she was.
And he tells her that he'll help her kill Ronan, but then it has to stop because he's afraid that she'll get killed.
Yeah. Or is that really why?
Don't know. So, Kate ends up leaving her mom's apartment and leaving the penthouse and goes back to her old apartment.
Yeah, her old burned up apartment.
Mm-hmm. And Yelena is there.
There she is.
She's making mac and cheese.
Yeah. Oh, man. She was great in this.
I love her
scene.
so much.
She is so good.
She is great. And I love her and Kate together.
Yeah.
The two of them. Man,
I liked Florence Pugh in the Black Widow movie, but
I like her
not
even
like
more
I like
in
her
this.
in the she just went all out in this, and she's doing so well.
She's just so great.
She's so lovable in this show.
I just want her to like be friends with everybody, but still not be friendly.
Yeah. I just want her to remain herself. I want her to be lead Avenger and just lead all teams. Be in every movie. That's all I ask. So she has the macaroni and cheese, and she's talking about how she knows everything about Kate Bishop because she keeps saying her full name, Kate Bishop.
She's like, why do you keep calling me by both of my names?
Are you trying to show me you know about me and can find out stuff? She's like, yes. And she just goes to town on that mac and cheese.
Well, she lets Kate eat mac and cheese first. And once she's done, she's like, are you done?
Yeah.
She's like, yeah. And she's like, time for the hot sauce. And
Yeah.
she just like smothers it in hot sauce and starts going to town on it.
Which was apparently Florence's idea. She wanted to put that in there.
Oh,
and
really?
She actually ate the mac and cheese
Nice.
during the scenes. Yeah.
Nice. So Kate is having dinner with the enemy. Meanwhile, Clint goes to stay with Grills.
Yeah.
And Pizza Dog is there.
Yeah. What do they do?
I don't really remember what they do, though.
God, I don't remember either.
I literally do not remember. All I know is that the dog is there. And then it goes back to Kate and Yelena, and they're talking about how reindeer meat is chewy.
Oh, yeah.
They're talking about eating reindeer meat.
Yeah.
My notes are just all over the place.
It's a weird up, yeah. A lot of talking in this episode, but, it was fun talking at least.
Oh, I know what happens. He gets the new outfits.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He gets their new suits.
He went there to get the costumes.
But they don't actually see them. We don't get to see them yet.
Right.
And then he goes out to talk to Nat, basically. Mm-hmm. There's like an Avengers plaque where the Avengers first assembled.
Yeah.
And so he's talking to her there.
And he turns off his earpiece.
He does. He turns off his little hearing aid, and I was automatically like, no!
Someone's going to stab him
Clint, someone's going to kill you. Yeah. They're going to sneak up on you, and you can't hear it. But I guess they didn't.
Yeah.
Because he was fine.
And no passersby even, looked twice at him. Just this guy talking on the side of the road. Or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. And I wrote something down, and I just, you probably saw my face. I had this confused look, because I'm like, what does this even mean? The music that they were playing was the music that they played in Avengers Endgame when she died.
Yeah.
Because I've just got it as death music. Because I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, don't do this. Don't play that music. That's heartbreaking. Quit.
Yeah.
So then you have the bros are just driving down the road.
Bros.
Two bros chilling in a hot tub.
We get a new trick arrow.
Yes.
Message delivery arrow. Basically, have you seen that Daffy Duck cartoon with him and Marvin the Martian? Porky's also in it. Duck Dodgers is what it's called. But they both have guns it's like ultimatum gun, and he shoots a gun and it's a bullet, and it gets to him and stops. And then opens up and delivers a message. No. Exactly like this.
I don't think I've seen that.
It's gives Marvin an ultimatum. Marvin shoots another one. Bullet comes in, opens up, and fires a blast into Daffy's face.
Oh, goodness.
Looney Tunes.
Anyway, they get a note saying to meet.
Yeah, it's to Maya.
To Maya to meet at a certain place at a certain time where it was where her father died. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
And then at some point someone mentions the big guy because I was like, Santa? But no, that's not who they mean.
Not the big guy.
They mean Uncle.
Yeah.
So Maya shows up, she's there, and there are all of these guys hiding in the shadows. There's a big fight scene because Hawkeye comes in dressed as Ronin and takes out Kazi first because he's getting ready to snipe from up high.
Yeah.
So knocks him out, goes after all the other guys, knocks a bunch of them out.
Yeah.
Injures some of them. Then finally goes
Some of them, I don't know how it was physically possible for him to take some of those guys out. He's 10 feet away, and then suddenly he's dragging someone off screen the other way. And
well, I mean, I guess he could have shot some kind of an arrow that had a thing and pulled.
Could be.
That wrapped around their leg and pulled them or something. There's a big fight between Ronan and Maya. And at the end of it, he tells her that basically he's not the one that she should be angry at and be after.
Yeah.
Because it was her boss who wanted her dad killed.
She's like, what?
Yep.
Yeah. And I think she was about to shoot him, and Kate shows up and shoots the gun out of his hand. Her hand.
I think that was all. I think he was telling her all that, and then she grabbed something and tried to shoot him.
What was it?
Kate knocks the gun out of her hand. She gets away. They get away. There was a lot going on.
A lot of people got away.
Yeah, exactly. And so Kate saved him. They grab an Uber, I guess.
Yeah, she's got an Uber lined up.
Yep. Then get out of there. And then Maya goes up to Kazi, and she's like, why weren't you there the night that my dad died?
Yeah, where were you? You were his number 2.
And he's like, oh, I had something to do, and she's like, So she's very suspicious of him.
Yeah, as she should be.
Yes.
He's a mime in the comics.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what? So then the last part, or the last note that I have, Clint and Kate are...
They're back at the apartment.
Back at the apartment, and she gets a text
From Yelena.
But it's from an unknown number, but that's who it's from.
Yeah.
Because you see Yelena is, like, tracking her mom, Kate's mom. And she gets the text, and she opens it, and it's talking about, here's the person who took
out the hit on Clint.
Yeah, who took out the hit on Clint. And it shows a picture. Well, actually, it's a video. But all you see is the picture. And she shows it to Clint and is like, who is this with my mom? And he's like... That's Kingpin.
Yeah.
So
from the Netflix shows, Vincent D'Onofrio.
He was back.
He shows up. He's there. So that was pretty exciting. That's pretty cool.
So yeah, that is Uncle. Because and last week, or not last week, but last episode, we kind of discussed who we thought Uncle was, and that's who it was.
Yep.
So that was who we guessed. We were correct.
We're very smart.
And I'm very glad to see that Vincent D'Onofrio is back.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. It's exciting that the Netflix shows are now, like, canon, and we can bring some of them in, because, like, I really want Luke Cage in there. Mm-hmm. And Daredevil as well, if, he
Punisher
happens to show up, that'd be cool.
Punisher could be interesting.
Because he was a good Punisher.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, like, the guy who played Punisher, he was in The Walking Dead, like the first 2 seasons. I hated him in that.
Oh, yeah.
He was the worst.
Yeah.
It was like when he died on that show, sorry, spoilers, it was in like 2nd season.
Yeah.
But when he died in that show, I was like, oh, thank goodness. I'm so glad that he's out of here now. So I did not like him in The Walking Dead, but I really liked him as Punisher.
Yeah, I agree.
So I wouldn't mind seeing him again.
Yeah.
And of course, Daredevil.
I'd like to see just Jessica Jones. She was cool.
Okay.
Is there anybody else?
Foggy Nelson.
He's a good Foggy. I wouldn't mind him being Foggy. I wouldn't mind him coming back.
And Karen, wasn't that her name?
Yeah, she's fine, I guess.
She was in True Blood. That's what I know her from.
Get Rosario Dawson back in there. Some night nurse.
I don't remember who played Elektra.
Yeah, she was good, though. I wouldn't mind seeing her again. But yeah, a lot of I'm pretty excited about that. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. We'll see what that means. And we'll see what that means for the last episode. Yep. Which I guess we can go into now.
Sure, let's go ahead. You've got some notes for this one.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
So, we're jumping in. She's confronting her mom. What the heck? Why are you with...
Well, first it shows...
Oh, suddenly you have the notes.
I do have notes. I was going to say I always have notes, but I don't have notes for It's a Wonderful Life. But it starts off with, she's not confronting her mom yet. Her mom is talking to Kingpin. So that's how it starts.
Okay. That's how it starts. Her husband owed a lot of money.
Yes.
Which we still don't know how he died. Why he died. We assume it was the aliens, I guess.
Yeah, we assumed because it happened like right around the time that the attack on New York happened.
Yeah. But
I mean,
she tried to go find her mom. Her mom suddenly wasn't anywhere in the apartment. Mm-hmm. And he just happened to die. Yeah. She lived, all that. I think if there's a season 2, we might hear more about that.
Maybe. But
the mom wants out. Mm-hmm. She wants out of the business. Kingpin, was he wearing his, Hawaiian shirt at this point?
I think that was later. I think that was later.
Okay, because I want to talk about that.
I feel like that was later.
Because, we go from that to, Maya's also hey, I want out.
Yes.
Also, because she's pretty much figured it out.
Yeah.
She's like, she wanted to kill my dad. Uh-huh. Kazi, obviously.
Was in on it.
Had in on it, yeah. So, I don't trust y'all. I don't want to be around y'all.
Yep. So, she's like, I'm out. Mm-hmm. See ya. She's like, I'm going to take some time off to think.
I gotta find myself.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, so.
And then Hawkeye and Kate are still together.
And they're making some trick arrows.
Hawkeye actually calls Kate his partner at one point.
It's true.
So that was nice. But yeah, they're working on some trick arrows. They're labeling them.
They are. That's smart. like that.
One of them is just extremely dangerous.
Yeah.
I think something like that.
Yeah, you don't even hear what it actually is. There's some like Stark Tech arrows. Not sure which ones those were.
Yep.
Yeah, they're there.
There's like one that says freeze.
Yeah.
One that, I forget what all the other ones are, but there's one that's like a magnet. All kinds of stuff.
And they're like putting some like sedatives on some or something. Maybe poison. I don't know.
Yeah, there's some poison darts that are in some. So they're just really...
They're getting ready for something.
Ready. Uh-huh.
And that something's a big party that I guess it's her mom's company throwing it?
I guess so. It's a big Christmas Eve party.
It's like at Rockefeller Center?
Yes.
So they think something's going to go down, and they are very right.
Yep.
Even the LARPers are there. They're undercover.
Yes! I was so glad to see the LARPers still there. I love that that's just been a little through line, for the whole thing.
Yeah. They're fun. Mm-hmm. So
they're all dressed up as waiters.
Mm-hmm. And even Yelena, she's there, looking awesome. I loved her hair thing.
Yes, her hair was so cool. It was like this very elaborate, like braid,
mohawk braid.
Yeah, it looked really neat.
Insane. It was cool. Yeah, she's there. She's gonna kill Clint.
Yep,
she's very dedicated to her cause. And Kazi's across the street.
Yep,
in a window,
getting ready to snipe some people.
Yeah, he wants to snipe the mom first of all, which Kate has to kind of get her into the back and get her out of the way so she doesn't get taken out.
But that's when she confronts her mom.
That's when she confronts her. Like,
she's like,
yo, I know what you're doing.
I know what you did, because she's like,
last summer.
I know you killed Armand, because you find out in that video that she killed Armand.
Yep. Straight up says it. So
you find out all this stuff, and she confronts her. Oh, and then suddenly Clint almost gets sniped.
Yeah, he tries to snipe him too.
So I guess because he sees an opportunity, he's like, might as well.
I mean, they're all here. Might as well just kill someone.
Exactly. But he misses.
Yep.
And Clint is fine. But then Kate's like, well, crap. Now I gotta actually fight, I guess.
Yeah. So everybody evacuates. Clint takes off because he doesn't want to die. Yelena he goes into an elevator. They follow him, Yelena and Kate, and like, you don't know what floor he's going to get off on, and she can see the display that says he got off on the 12th floor. It stops on 12th floor,
and she's like, 12.
And they just have this fun, little thing. They fight a little, but it's really not that bad.
No, it's not like they're not fighting like they want to hurt the other person. Really, it's like Kate is fighting to stop Yelena from getting to Clint, basically.
Even like pushing all the buttons on all the floors
on the elevator,
so that she doesn't get to go down very fast.
And she's like, really?
And they kind of have like a mutual. They kind of fight through a floor. She's gonna go out the window and slide down.
Yes. And
so they both get in some good moves, and they both compliment their moves. Like, good job on that throw back there. Yeah. So it's like, that's great.
So Yelena, though, she goes out the window, and she tries to shoot Clint.
Yeah.
Misses.
And just misses, because Kate calls or talks to him on the headset.
Yeah, but she's down on the ground now because she goes all the way down. And then Kate decides that she's going to try to go out too, and Kate
ties a little bolo thing
what
around there.
What are you doing?
And then, pretty much walks out.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, this is not going to go well.
That's terrifying.
It did not go well, but she did make it to the ground.
Went better than it could have been.
Yeah, it could have gone so much worse.
Even the way she lined, I was like, she had to have broken something. Hurt. Like, there's no way a normal person would have not broken something.
But she gets down there, and of course, here are all the tracksuit mafia, and they're like, bro, it's Kate Bishop. And so they're all going after her. And
that one guy thanks her for her advice on his love life.
Yeah. She's like, did it go all right? And he's like, yeah, I went fine. And then they start fighting.
Yeah.
Then, of course, Jack gets out there. And he starts just fencing everybody.
Yeah, because at the party even, he had just gotten out of jail. Yeah. And he just had a sword at his hip, just like...
Yeah.
Because he's such a weirdo.
Yeah, but he gets down there and he's just like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll fight these bad guys for you, too. He helps. So he just helps out. He just joins in.
They just have guns and he's just sword fighting all of them. And so he's done just a complete face turn.
Yep.
He's a good guy now.
I guess so.
Which I'm happy to see. He seems like a fun guy.
Yeah.
And Swordsman, he's usually a good guy, so
Okay.
it's good to see.
Then Kazi finds Clint and they start fighting.
Yeah.
And Kazi's like, yeah, I just really wanted to fight you. And so they start fighting everything. And
it'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun. And then more guys show up.
Yeah.
Clint sets some things off and then finally knocks out Kazi and he's like, yeah, it was fun, and walks off.
Yep.
And then Clint jumps out of the window.
Yeah. He's gonna try and... What did he do? Was he sliding on something or did he just jump?
I don't know.
I can't remember. I think he just jumped.
I don't know exactly what happened.
I don't know.
But he jumped out and somehow he ended up in the tree at Rockefeller Center.
Yeah, the tree.
Inside of the tree. And he's like, oh, this isn't good. And then he looks around because he hears something.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little owl in the tree.
Owl.
It's the cutest thing.
It's a cute little owl.
And it's just looking at him like, hey, what are you doing here?
Yeah. But don't worry, Kate has a plan to get him down, and that's just to shoot the guide wires that are holding the tree up.
Oh my gosh, she shoots the cables.
And shoots the trunk with an acid arrow so that it just cuts down the tree.
So there goes the tree at Rockefeller Center, which I'm pretty sure I said in an earlier episode, something's going to happen with that tree.
Maybe. And... Luckily, no one was skating at that point.
Yeah, I think everybody had... Well, I mean, when you've got like 50 van loads of bros coming at you, they probably all just scattered.
I guess.
Plus,
I don't
people
know.
were running out of Rockefeller Center, like, out of the building there, like...
Yeah, and which the LARPers got
helping.
organized with because they put on their LARPing uniforms and got them out of there.
Yeah, they were there as backup, and then... all of these bros start showing up. They're like, we're going to die.
Yeah.
We're all going to die.
And I mean, we say that people would have gotten out of the way, but the police didn't show up forever to this thing.
Yeah.
The tree was destroyed. Shots had been fired. People were running out of the building. Like, this is a big deal. The police were nowhere.
The police were there. They were just LARPing.
Yeah, okay. The off-duty cops were doing their job, but... I don't know what everyone else was doing.
So then Kate shows up to help Clint because Clint is like, he's like, okay, I guess this is it. I'm in the middle of this ice skating rink.
She slides in on the ice shooting some, like, I don't know what
I guess she was just
fog
shooting
machine things.
Yeah, she
I don't know.
shot some kind of arrows that caused fog.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
and she was shooting people too.
Yeah, it was really, really cool.
Yeah.
So she slides in there. She's like, all right, this is it,
Let's do this.
He pulls off his jacket and he's wearing his...
Got his uniform on.
He's got his uniform on. She was already in hers because while she was in the elevator with Yelena, her jacket, they were kind of fighting and her jacket came off. And she was like, did you mean to do that? And she's like... No. But so they start shooting as many guys as they can with all the different trick arrows.
Yeah, there was a magnetic one that like caused like a chain magnetism thing with all the metal stuff around.
Yep, around the rink.
Grabbed all the guns. Mm-hmm. A freaking nail gun thing, kinda. It like shot and just spun around and shot nails at everybody.
Yeah, I don't know. And then there was one that had the blow dart kind of stuff that darted people and they all fell down.
One of them turned a dude's leg into ice.
Yes.
He is forever screwed. Like,
He's lost that leg.
Yeah.
That's gone now.
That's awful. I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
There was like an airbag one, which just made a huge airbag.
Mm-hmm. I can't remember what all, but then
somebody driving in a truck.
They're driving a van toward the ice rink. They are like going to crash into them, basically.
Yep.
But they get shot with an arrow that I guess was a Pym arrow because it turned them into like a little tiny like Matchbox car size van, and you could hear them like still in there, like, "Oh my god, bro, what happened?" So,
like, well, what do we do?
What do we do with this?
I don't know. I don't know what to do with that.
So while they're trying to figure out what they're going to do with it, the owl swoops down and just picks it up and flies away with it.
So they're dead.
With those people screaming. So yeah, they're dead. Kate gets word that her mom has left the building, so she goes after her. Meanwhile, Yelena has shown up and she's there to kill Clint.
Right.
So you kind of have those two. And then also you have Maya and Kazi who have decided, because she's shown up.
Yeah.
And they're fighting too.
Yeah.
So they're
Everybody's paired off.
3 fights going on.
Yeah. And Kate's mom is trying to get away in a limo.
Yes.
And her driver's dead. And her bodyguard gets thrown over the car. The door gets ripped off. And it's Kingpin. He's there wearing his Hawaiian shirt.
A white suit with a Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah. Which is... It's from the comics, but gosh, it looks bad in real life. And he's got his hat on. Like, it's so... I hated it. I hated the look of it. It did coming off of like Daredevil, where he's dressed in like these awesome suits and stuff all the time, to where he's, I don't know, chilling on the beach. Yeah,
it does look pretty bad.
Yeah.
So anyway, Kate shows up though, to rescue her mom, and she just straight up shoots him in the chest.
Yeah, shoots him with an arrow.
And he pulls it out, and he just kind of smacks it away. And she's like, "Oh crap!" So she shoots another one, but the second one she does has like something attached to it, like a cable attached to it or something. And so he pulls her to him.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So anyway, they start fighting.
It's not going well.
They start fighting. It's not going well for Kate, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, a car just hits him.
Yeah, just slams into him, going like 90 miles an hour.
It could not have been going that fast. I mean, I don't know, because it was her mom that was driving it.
My buddy Justin asked me, like, how did she get that car going so fast and slam into him without nobody hearing it coming?
Right.
Like, so yeah, that throws him pretty hard.
Yeah,
knocks the mom out.
Yes.
That was insane. It came out of nowhere. Very surprising.
It did. I forget everything that happens.
I mean, she just basically goes in.
She goes inside.
She checks on her mom, and then she goes in to get Kingpin. He's getting up.
They fight some more.
He keeps just chunking her. Like, she shoots an arrow at the window that like creates like this magnet,
like this barrier, so they can't get out.
Barrier, yeah. And she goes after him. He just grabs her and just throws her or punches her into the wall. Basically, it's ridiculous. She was not faring well in that fight.
No, she was not. And he takes like her arrows out of her quiver and he just breaks them all and throws them on the ground. So they're all scattered on the ground.
Yeah.
And then he throws her across the room again. Everything.
Yeah.
And then finally she shoots an arrow.
No,
that's not shooting an arrow. It's not an arrow.
When they were scuffling, she grabbed one of his cufflinks.
Cufflinks, that's what it is.
And she does
the coin trick.
Snap thing. And yeah.
She does the coin trick, which hits one of the arrows and sets them all off around him.
So he just explodes.
Yeah. But, I mean, it doesn't kill him, but it throws him and knocks him out for a little while.
Yeah, he's out.
And then she goes and checks on her mom and everything. And her she's fine.
Yeah, the cops finally arrive.
But then the cops arrive and she says to Kate, "Is this what heroes do? Have their moms arrested on Christmas?" I was like, "Are you kidding me? Get out of here." Just trying
to guilt her.
Get out of here. Crazy. Go away. So, yeah, she tries to guilt her and everything. And she's just like, "You killed Armand."
Yeah.
You did all these terrible things.
Yeah.
So.
And then while that's going on, Yelena and Clint are fighting. She wants to know, like, I don't know, what happened, why he killed her, all this stuff. Or the sister wanted the truth from him.
She wants to know what happened with him and Black Widow, why Black Widow died.
Yeah. And so,
Natasha, whatever.
He says he can't tell her, like, the story because she wouldn't believe him. But, I mean, like, really? He wouldn't... A lot of stuff happens in that world that...
She was snapped out of existence for 5 years, and she's not going to believe him. I think she'd probably believe him.
So, yeah, she does kind of the whistle for her sister that they did, their little secret whistle. The whistle. She starts it, then he answers her.
He did the whistle.
He answered her.
Okay. I thought he did the whole thing. And she's like,
"How'd you know?" No.
Then why did she even do it in the first place?
She was doing it out of mourning or something. Oh, okay. They were talking about her sister. And she's like, "Why'd you say that name?" Or, "Why'd you whistle?" And he's like, that was y'all's secret whistle, wasn't it? She told me all about it, and she saved the world and all that. I don't know why, but she suddenly believed him because he knew the whistle, I guess.
I guess. I don't know. It doesn't really explain why she believed him finally.
Yeah. So she helps him up. They're buddies now. They're going to be good friends forever.
She's just not going to try to kill him.
Yeah.
For now.
So I guess that kind of resolves that. Maya and Kazi are fighting still. Mm-hmm. She just pretty much beats him down. Yeah. She says she does ask him to like leave with her. Yeah. And they can just not do this anymore. But he's like, he was jealous of her. It was supposed to be his business, and then she came in and took over, basically. Or Kingpin liked her more or something. I don't know. Right?
I don't know. I took it as... I wasn't really paying that much attention, I guess, because I took it as
this is
more,
what I do.
I took it more as...
It wasn't supposed to be you.
I took it more as, this is what I do. Like, I'm stuck in this world. You don't have to be.
No. He was he was mad at her. He was like... This is what I do. You weren't supposed to do this.
Okay.
Because he thought he was going to take over once her dad was killed. But then Maya took over instead. Okay. So, anyway, I guess she just knocked him out, basically.
No, she killed him.
Did she kill him?
Yeah. She stabbed him. Because he goes back, he grabs an arrow.
That's right.
And tries to attack her, and she stabs him with it.
That's right.
Yeah, so he's gone.
Rest in peace, Kazi. Miss you every day.
Right.
And then we see the Kingpin has gotten away because when the police go to arrest Kingpin, he's gone. He's gone, yep. Of course, like any good villain. So Kingpin's walking down the alley and he comes across Maya's there. Mm-hmm. And he tries to schmooze her, basically. And she pulls out a gun and...
It pans away, and it pans up, and you hear a gunshot, and what sounds kind of like somebody falling to the ground.
I didn't hear that part.
Okay,
I just remember the gunshot, but yeah. So is he dead? Maybe.
Who knows? It didn't show it though. Yeah, it doesn't show it on screen.
And there is a comic book storyline where Echo shoots him in the head, I guess in the eye, and he still lives through it somehow. So. It's hard to keep Kingpin down, so I guess we'll see. But that would be crazy. Just bring back Kingpin. It's a big deal for 2 episodes.
Not even a full 2 episodes. 2 episodes and like one tiny picture of him at the end of an episode.
In a second.
Yeah, that would be kind of weird.
Yeah, but we'll see.
Yep. And then it goes to there's a car driving and pulls up to the farm where Clint lives. It's Clint, of course. Yep. He's made it. It's like Christmas Day, I guess. And so he gets out of the car, and then here comes Kate. Kate gets out of the car also with Pizza Dog, who is named Lucky. Yeah. There he made it in time for Christmas. His kids are there. At first, I was like, oh my gosh, it's way too quiet. I don't like this. No one is here greeting him. Something has happened. But no, they were all there. Everything was fine. They go inside. They introduce Kate and introduce Lucky to everybody. Yeah. Then he gives Laura the watch. Uh-huh. And she looks at it. And it's her watch. It is. And she looks at it, and on the back of it is the symbol for S.H.I.E.L.D. Yep. And I think it said 19 on it. Yeah.
And Agent 19 is Mockingbird, who Hawkeye is married to in the comics. So.
Oh, okay. Well, makes sense.
Maybe she's a Mockingbird. I don't know.
So, there we go.
And they burn his Ronin costume.
Yes.
And Kate wants to think up names for herself. Like, Lady Hawk. Mm-hmm. Hawk Eve. Pretty bad. But then I was very excited. I was like, that was the end of it. Yes. And then I was very excited. I was like, what's going to happen in the post-credits?
What are they going to show in the post-credits?
What, is there going to be some Daredevil, some Luke Cage walk on screen and be like, yeah. Sweet Christmas, we're going to do this.
It's like, who is going to show up next? It's going to be amazing. And then it shows Rogers. The musical.
in full, or at least that number.
Well, the one number that they showed part of in the first episode. Yep. So that's what the post credits scene was, and we sat there and we watched the whole thing because it was so weird.
I loved it and hated it at the same time.
Yes.
I wished it had had more stuff, but I also really did want to see that musical.
Yeah.
It was so silly. And it was just as silly as you imagine. Mm-hmm. So yeah, what did you think about the Hawkeye series overall?
I liked it.
How would you compare it to the other ones?
Okay, well, there have been 5 so far.
Ooh, good question. Loki, WandaVision, Captain America, What If, I guess?
Yeah. And this, yeah. This is probably... Ooh, I don't know. It's hard. It's second or third.
Yeah.
Loki is still first for me.
Oh, yeah, me too.
So it's between this one and WandaVision.
Yeah, same.
And then, of course, after those 2, well, those top 3, then it's Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Yeah. And then What If all the way at the bottom.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
What If is the worst of them, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it had some good moments. A few episodes that were a little slow, but overall, I thought it was a lot of fun.
It makes a lot. I feel like it's one of those that, if you haven't seen Black Widow, it's not going to be as. I mean, it'll still make sense, but it's going to be better if you've seen Black Widow, especially after Yelena comes in there. Yeah, because people are going to be like, "Who's that?" Yeah,
I love the new characters. I mean, Yelena there, she kind of really got to come into her own there, and I hope Kate kind of gets to do more later. Yeah, because she was really good too. So
I would really like to see the 2 of them team up.
Yeah, I'm hoping for some kind of Young Avengers kind of thing, and maybe it'll happen.
It'd be fun.
We'll see. There's a lot of TV projects coming up soon, like She-Hulk and Marvels and other stuff that I can't remember at the moment. Moon Knight. That's right. Ms. Marvel. Pretty exciting. All right. Now we get into the Christmas main event of It's a Wonderful Life. I do think this is my favorite Christmas movie, even though Christmas Story I really love too. Mm-hmm. But I really like It's a Wonderful Life.
It's great. I mean,
I kind of always forget it's like 2 hours.
It's so long.
It's a lot longer than I remember every time.
Yeah.
But I don't hate it. So we probably don't need to go into a ton of detail because I imagine everyone's seen this or at least is pretty familiar with it. But I mean, we'll go through it. Yeah. But yeah, because they had that thing where they lost copyright in 1974. And so everyone just showed it all the time for 20 years because they didn't have to pay for it. Yeah. So probably caught it somewhere. Yeah, it's about a man, just a man named George Bailey.
Just an ordinary man named George Bailey who has dreams.
Has dreams. He wants to go places.
He has big dreams of going on adventures and getting to see the world. Yeah. And then things happen.
Life happens.
Life happens.
And of course, it's also a story about an angel. Mm-hmm. Clarence Oddbody. What a name. Yep. What a guy also. We're introduced to Clarence as a star, talking to God and Abraham.
Joseph,
that's right. Kind of going to be his. They noticed George Bailey. They got to help this man.
They've heard lots. It starts off there. A lot of prayers. There are a lot of prayers. There are a lot of prayers about George, help George. Mm-hmm. Help Daddy. Help Daddy. So yeah, there are a lot of people praying for him. So obviously something major has just happened in his life. Mm-hmm. And he needs help. So,
he does.
So they decide, okay, Clarence, this is your chance. Here's your chance to earn your wings. Get your wings.
You failed a lot, apparently. I want to know how he failed,
Yeah, I don't know.
What did he do? I don't know.
Because, he is, when he gets in there, he was playing fast and loose with all this angel stuff.
It's true.
Because he just automatically lets them know, he's like, I'm an angel. It's like, are you supposed to be able to tell people that you're an angel?
Seriously, okay. I don't understand how this works.
Is that not against the rules? I guess not. Anyway.
I guess angels really haven't cared about me. They're not talking to me about this stuff. Hey, Mark, I'm an angel. Yeah. Aren't you having a rough year?
So, anyway, they send Clarence. But before they send him down there to help out,
They give him a brief history.
They have to give him a history of George Bailey's life.
Yeah, which see him as a kid. He's playing with his friends and his brother.
They're out sledding across the ice. And
was that a lake or a river, do you think?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I always think it's a lake.
A lake too. Yeah, but they're all doing it, saying hee haw. It's really annoying. I hate hee haw. I'm sorry. I hate that. It's the worst.
It is very annoying.
It's like the only thing I hate about this movie. Yeah, I don't like Sam Wainwright and I don't like hee haw.
Well, he's mainly the one who does hee haw, so it would make sense that you wouldn't like him.
Yep. Everybody's doing fine, sledding successfully. Then his brother Harry gets up there, and he's younger than all of them.
Yes.
And he goes down. He can't stop. He really doesn't try.
No.
And he goes straight into the
water.
The thin ice into the water. Yeah. And that's where I was like, is it a lake? Because it looked like it was like a whirlpool going around him. Like the water was really rushing around.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I was wondering if it was some kind of river or something. But yeah, he's in there. George has to get in there. They do the Boy Scout thing of forming a human chain, which I always respect. That was a good thing I learned in Boy Scouts. And they pull out Harry to save his life. Mm-hmm. He's okay. Which I guess first, if George, I'm just going to spoil what this is about because I'm sure we know about it. If George wasn't alive, first of all, would Harry have been hanging out with those older boys and doing that?
Probably, because they were probably the neighborhood kids. And
maybe. I guess so. And then second, if not, then would the kids just been like, oh, well, I guess Harry's going to die. I'm not helping him.
Well, was it George's idea to do the chain?
I guess, but
maybe the others would have just panicked and not known what to do.
Maybe. I guess he's the only one that knows how to do anything.
Or maybe they would have tried and failed.
Yeah, Sam would have just been running around. Hee-haw, come on, Harry. Hee-haw, get out. Hee-haw.
Stop. Maybe, I don't know.
I hate Sam.
But he does get Harry out. Yeah. But when he goes into because he has to go into the water himself, I guess.
Yeah, he does.
And when he does something, it
messes up his ear.
It messes up his hearing in one of his ears.
Yeah.
So he has a bad ear and a good ear.
Yep. Another thing where I think they just automatically form chains, and I don't know if children did this in that age, but they all just walk down the street, arm in arm, whistling. Like, did kids do that? Did you do that with your friends?
No, but also, I grew up in the 90s.
It's true, but...
And I lived out in the woods. I didn't live in a place where I could, walk down a sidewalk to the local drugstore.
I guess, but I don't know. It just seems so weird. What's such a weird thing to do? But they did it, and they're very happy.
Well, I mean, it was like the
1800s.
No, that's gonna be like the 19
yeah, it's like
teens or something.
Yeah, somewhere in there. But they pretty much drop off George at the drugstore where he works.
Yes, where he works. He works for Mr. Gower.
Mr. Gower. And this is where we get to meet Mary for the first time.
And Violet also.
Yeah, Violet, who has a crush on every boy.
Oh, yeah, because it's Violet.
Yeah, they are not friends.
No.
They do not like each other. But Mary is super into George.
Oh, yeah. She's crushing on him hardcore.
Oh, yeah. She's like, I'm going to love you forever.
She says, George Bailey, I'll love you till the day I die.
Yeah. In his trick ear.
In the ear that he can't hear out of. Because he's just talking about all kinds of stuff. And she says that. And then he just keeps talking about some other thing.
Yeah. Who wouldn't fall in love with this guy? He calls her brainless. He says he's going to start a harem and have a bunch of women. Be still my heart. He's so mean to her.
Oh, but he is a cute little kid, so.
I guess so. But yeah, he's... I don't know why she was so infatuated with him. But I guess it was kids.
Okay, well, do you not recall when I said I had a crush on a talking cat? Sometimes we make weird choices when we're kids,
but at least that cat was nice. The cat wasn't calling the kids brainless to their face. It was a very charming cat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's just, I don't know. Mr. Gower wants him to take a prescription to a family who has diphtheria. And George catches that it's poison.
Mm-hmm.
So he wants to go tell his dad.
Yes.
But his dad is in a fight with the worst person in the world, Mr. Potter.
Mr. Potter.
Harry Potter's there.
Henry F. Potter. That jerk.
He's the worst.
He is the absolute worst. I can't. I like this movie.
Yeah.
But it's hard to watch because I cannot stand him.
Yeah.
Lionel Barrymore. I love Lionel Barrymore, but he does
a good job of being despicable.
He's awful.
Yeah. He wants to buy the building alone or whatever.
Yes.
Shut it down.
He wants to buy it, I guess, because he wants to be in control of everything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, probably if he bought it, he would shut it down.
Oh, yeah.
Or he would just use it to, do loans for people that just had really high interest rates and probably shouldn't be getting those loans anyway.
Yep.
Unlike the Baileys. The Baileys are, nice people.
They are.
They're trying to help their fellow men.
Yep. Trying to be good people. Mm-hmm. Which led to the FBI thinking this was a communist movie and tried to get it shut down, basically. So, yeah. Those were fun times. But anyway, he doesn't sell. George heads back to the drugstore. Gower's gotten a call that they didn't get their prescription. Mm-hmm. So he just beats the crap out of little George.
Yeah, and George is like, I couldn't get it. It's poison.
Yeah.
You put the wrong thing in the thing.
He smacked his ears a few times where he's bleeding out of his ear. My gosh, dude. Yeah. Just a little light abuse. Bad. It's fine.
But he had seen earlier that Mr. Gower got a telegram about his dad, about his son who had died from influenza.
Yeah.
So he was...
It's pretty rough.
Yeah, so he was not in his right mind at the time.
Yeah.
And he does apologize once he realizes that he was wrong.
He does.
And he licks the poison.
He does. He's like, oh, poison, you say?
Let me just taste this.
That is poison.
That is poison. I'm sorry.
Dying.
It's like, oh my gosh. Hopefully it was something that wasn't going to be hopefully it wasn't cyanide.
Yeah.
Maybe just some light arsenic.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's a weird choice there. But don't worry, we'll redeem Gower by cutting ahead about 10, 15 years to grown-up George Bailey. Is he just out of high school at that point, or is he a little older?
He's a little bit older because Harry
he's been out of high school for
graduating.
4 years. Yeah.
Because it's Harry's graduation.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm out of here, baby.
Yeah, because he's gonna go off. Is he going to college right then?
Yeah,
he's getting ready to go to college because he had to. When he graduated, he had to wait. He had to work for his dad at the building and loan until Harry graduated to take his place.
Right.
And after Harry graduates, he gets to go off to college. George gets to go off to college.
Right.
Yes.
So he's getting a new suitcase for his travels, and he got this really nice one and it's on the house because Gower's already paid for it.
Yeah,
and it's got his name on it and everything.
Yep.
And I love Jimmy Stewart's face and all this. He's got great expressions.
I love Jimmy Stewart's face anyway because I love Jimmy Stewart.
He's acting his heart out in this,
great.
man. There's so many great scenes with him. He's really good. Because he goes from he's in this first part, he's all happy and
he's
fun.
Excited about it.
Yeah, he's young and funny and happy, and later on he's sad, he's miserable. It's like a horror movie. It's a real range of emotion from him, and he nails it. He's great.
So he's getting ready to go off to college. He goes home. Or he goes home to have dinner, and his brother is like, "Hey, why don't you go to the party with us, the graduation party?"
On his way home, also, we got to mention that we meet Bert and Ernie.
Oh, Bert and Ernie. So Bert is a cop, and Ernie is a taxi driver.
Yes.
And they always seem to be doing things together.
Yep,
so
they're buddies.
Naturally, you'd want to call them Bert and Ernie.
Yep, because that's what they are. And I will never believe Jim Henson when he says that it didn't,
nothing
he
to
didn't
do
name
with
it after them. Yeah, right.
Come on, Jim.
Just admit it. Nobody's going to sue you, Jim. I mean, you're dead, but the rest of the Hensons don't have to hide it. So, yeah. Then we head to the Bailey household, eating dinner. The dad's really getting into it. Harry's getting pies, and he's carrying it on his head.
He's carrying pies.
Pretty talented. That was pretty impressive. And he harasses the maid.
Yeah. What's her name?
Slaps her on her butt.
Sarah? Is that?
Yeah, I think so. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I liked him and his, I like George's and his dad's relationship. That was nice. He really seemed to respect his dad, which was cool. Harry invites George to the party. He's like, you coming by the party?
Yeah.
He's been out of school for like 4 years. Really? You're going to go back to a high school graduation party?
But you get there,
there's a lot
of older people that, like, a lot of their friends are there.
I find that so weird, though. I don't like it. I remember when older people would come around while we were in high school that had graduated years prior. We were like,
"What are you doing?"
Are they here? Yeah, they were like trying to hang out with everyone, and we're like, "Hey."
Maybe it was different back then. I don't know.
I don't know. I still find it weird, though.
But he does go to the party.
He does. And this is where he meets grown-up Mary.
Yes.
Her brother said, you need to see my kid sister, Mary.
Yeah.
And we don't really see him much anymore in the movie.
His name was Marty, I think.
Yeah.
And they show him, like, he's there, and then they mention him one more time. And other than that, he is...
during the war
it's like,
stuff.
Where did he go?
Yeah.
He's just gone.
He's like... check out my sister. I'm going to head out.
Yeah. Why don't you go, like, get with that? I'm going to go. Bye.
Yeah. By the way, Donna Reed, right?
Yes.
Gorgeous.
Yes.
She has a smoke show in this.
Yes.
She's talking to Alfalfa.
Yes.
For whatever reason.
Yes.
Anybody else there she could have been talking to, but she was talking to Alfalfa. Mm-hmm. And George is like,
let me cut in here.
Beat it, kid.
He's like, hey.
Yeah. So
he takes Mary off to dance, and they start
go dance.
They start dancing, but then it's time for the Charleston. Like the competition. So, yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess it got ruined a little bit. I don't know how they were judging this competition with how many people there were, but apparently they had those big dance competitions.
A lot of times they would do they would dance until
you dropped,
until you stopped, until you just had to stop or drop or roll.
They did always set them on fire. Right at the beginning.
Oh, exactly. So yeah, they would just, you would go until you couldn't go any longer, or if you got tapped out, like if you stopped dancing for a few minutes or whatever, they'd be like, nope, you're out, gotta go. Or if you were doing something inappropriate, and no, get out of there. Yeah. So
they both were like, I'm not very good at this. And they were both really good at dancing. I do kind of wish the Charleston was still a dance that was done more, just so I could do the knee hand motion shimmy thing. It's the stupidest dance move in the world. But it
looks fun.
I mean, everything else seems a lot of fun. Yeah. I remember going to dance classes with it was a class of like seniors, and we were with them, and just doing those old dances were a lot of fun. So I can see why they definitely did them. And then they're so into it, they don't notice when Alfalfa has opened up the dance floor over the pool.
Yes.
And the pool is exposed.
They built the dance floor, or they have it's a mechanical kind of thing where the dance floor covers the pool when they're not using the pool. But he opens it up, and and everybody is like watching as they're
notices.
And they're watching as George and Mary are just like dancing right on the edge about to fall off.
Yeah, they think they're
like, wow,
cheering for
we must be really good.
Yeah, and they eventually fall in.
Yes, and then other people dive in with them because I guess it looks fun.
Yeah, I like that they kept dancing in the water. That was sweet. He's so good. He's such a good actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the whole part after this, too. I love that whole scene.
It's like one of my favorite scenes.
It's so
when they're walking back, and he's in an old football uniform. She's in a boxing robe, basically. A big robe. Yeah.
And he's constantly having to keep his hand on his pants to keep him up.
Yeah.
Because he said that he had to like beat off people just to get whatever he could, just to get what was there. Because I guess everybody had their clothes soaked when they fell in the pool.
Or jumped in.
Yeah. So he's walking her home.
They're singing Buffalo Gals.
Yes.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the song's probably not the best history, but still, it's a nice little running theme to the movie. They like to sing it with each other, and they're not bad singers.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, they stopped to throw a rock through the window of the old rundown house.
I forget what it's called. It had a name, and I can't remember.
You make a wish, and you throw a rock, and if you break a window, it comes true.
Your wish comes true.
Yeah, and he does, and she does too.
Mm-hmm.
And he tries to find out what she wished for.
Yeah.
She won't tell him.
Yep.
She plays coy. And it bugs him. He wants to know what she wished for. What did you wish for when you flew the rock?
Buffalo.
And this is where we get the do you want the moon speech thing. How about lasso in the moon? Mm-hmm. Bring it to her, which is baller line, dude.
Pull it down, and what is it? You can swallow it, and the moonbeams will come out of your fingertips, and all that stuff. It's like poetry.
Dude's doing it, baby. He is doing it. And an old guy from the porch yells at him to kiss her, which is funny.
And so he's like, well, fine, I will. And he goes to, he's like stepped on her robe, and he doesn't realize it. And she like darts off to get away.
Yeah.
And robe comes off.
Yeah, it's on the ground.
And he's like, oh, Mary? Where are you? Mary.
Your robe.
So she's in the azalea bush.
Yep. So he was about to throw it to her. He's like, wait a second.
Yeah.
There's a naked girl in that azalea bushes. Why should I give you your robe back?
This is an interesting predicament we're in. And so she's like, George Bailey, I will tell your mother.
Call the cops. She'll scream. Mm-hmm. He doesn't seem to care.
Nope.
So then he's about to make a deal with her.
Yep. I'll make a deal with you. And
I'll give you your robe back
if.
And then, of course, pulls up.
Yeah, so we never find out what the if was going to be.
What was the deal?
What was the deal? Don't know. Because the car comes up and it's Uncle Billy, I think.
Yeah, they're coming up to tell him that his dad's had a
stroke.
A stroke, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So he jumps in real quick. Well, he throws the robe onto the bush, and he jumps in real quick. She kind of peeks up out as they're driving away.
His dad passes.
Yeah, so then it goes forward like 6 months or so.
Yeah.
And they're having a big board meeting.
Yeah, at for the building and loan. His dad had like kind of satiated Potter by putting him on the board.
Yes.
That was like how he relented a little bit. Mm-hmm. So Potter's there, of course. George is trying to leave. He's going to go on a trip somewhere.
Well,
right?
I think that was when he was going to go.
Was he going to go to college still? That's right. Yeah.
So he was about to go to college. That was like the day he was leaving for college.
Yeah.
So he's waiting to get on the train to go.
Uh-huh. And they're like, okay, well, what are we going to do? We'll have to talk about that. Mm-hmm. Potter's like, shut it down. I don't care about this place.
Yeah.
It's stupid. And
so George makes this impassioned speech about how great the building and loan is and how terrible.
How like
Potter is.
Yeah, like y'all are businessmen. We want to help these people so they can spend more money at your businesses.
He's like, it's better for the economy, basically, if we're open.
And you're like, you need to wait so you can buy it when you can afford it. He's like, wait for what?
Yeah,
just a good speech, very good speech, and which makes Potter mad.
Yeah, so he's like, all right, well, I gotta go. So he walks out, and he's like, oh, okay, I gotta head out. Gotta go to college. Mm-hmm. And then Uncle Billy comes out. I think it was Uncle Billy.
No,
it's
Billy
not Uncle Billy. It's the other
Somebody
guy.
on the board.
The president of the board or whatever. He comes out. And he's like, they voted to keep it open, but they want you in charge.
Yeah.
He's like, I gotta go,
It's the only way they'll keep it around is if you're in charge. Which, who else are they going to put in charge? Billy?
Uncle
no.
Billy? No.
I'm a Potter on this one.
I'd be running the ground real fast.
Might as well just shut it down.
Yeah, might as well. So they say, okay, but if you don't take it, it's getting shut down. So he's like, all right, I guess I'll take it.
Yep.
So he takes over the building and loan, and
he lets Harry his spot.
Take his spot at college, and Harry becomes like a big football star, and all this stuff.
That's good.
Yep.
Comes back home,
and
he's got him a wife.
Yep, he got married.
Yeah,
and his wife's father has a job for him.
This hussy.
So, and George is like, is it a good job? And she's like, oh yeah, it's a great job,
Well, yeah, it doesn't pay much.
It doesn't pay much, but it's got a lot of room for growth or whatever.
Yeah.
So he's like,
I guess
dang it, I guess I'm stuck here.
Harry, you were supposed to take over.
Because he was like, all right, as soon as Harry gets back, he can take over at the building and loan. I can head out on my adventures and everything, but now he's not going to get to do that.
Yeah.
Dang it, Harry.
Yeah.
You couldn't have given him a few months.
Or at least given him a heads up or something.
Right.
Harry's kind of messed up, but apparently he's very good at research in the glass industry, whatever that means. But they have a big party for Harry, for him returning from college, and George and Uncle Billy are hanging out outside, getting some air. And Uncle Billy heads home because he's drunk.
Yeah.
And he falls over something off stage, which apparently happened in real life. And made Jimmy Stewart laugh.
Nice.
So, and then he heads off under his mom's advisement, goes to talk to Mary because she's in town.
Yeah, Mary is currently dating Sam Wainwright.
Why?
But Sam Wainwright is out of town. I guess he lives somewhere else, or maybe he's
in the big city, wherever that is.
Wherever that is, exactly.
Yeah. So she convinces George to come in because he's just kind of pacing back and forth outside her house. Which is not creepy at all.
And then she's like, yeah, your mother called and said you were headed over here. He's like, nobody knew I was coming here.
She's got a painting of little art thing she did of George Lasso's The Moon. Which is sweet. She plays Buffalo Gals on the record player. So she's very excited to see him, and he's in his very charming mode of being insulting to her and such. So yeah, it's kind of a weird scene. I don't know. He's really not into it. She's really into it. Her mom hates it. She wants Mary to be with Sam.
Yes.
Of course. And she asks what George is doing there. Of course, Mary answers that he's making violent love to her.
He's making violent love to me, Mother.
That's just a great line. He doesn't really get the hints about the Buffalo Gals and the drawing and all that. He's got a lot on his mind, I guess.
Guess so.
And he goes to leave, and he has to come back because he forgot something.
Yeah.
What's that?
I don't remember, but Sam Wainwright is
called
on the phone.
Yeah.
He calls.
So Mary plays it up like she actually
Sam,
likes.
I'm so glad to hear you.
Yeah, like, stop saying hee-haw. Don't act like you like hee-haw. I'm starting to hate the TV show too now just because of this.
So she's like, George Bailey is here.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, let me talk to George. So they both are on the phone. She's holding it, and their faces are like right next to each other and everything, and they're just slowly like looking at each other.
Yeah, being like, attracted to each other. Sam's talking about soybean production, and they want to start a business. They need a
plastics
factory place, and he gives them an idea to start it up there.
Yes.
Sam's just talking it up. Oh, Sam, by the way, is in the city, and some girls getting real is very close to Sam.
Getting real handsy with him.
Obviously cheating on Mary with this girl, so I mean maybe they're not, going steady or whatever it is.
It's alright, they weren't gonna end up together anyway, so
yeah, she doesn't care. So yeah. And it apparently works, but George is mad that it works. And he starts shaking Mary and yelling at her. Like, he doesn't want to get married, doesn't want this, and
he doesn't want to be tied down.
I
guess he still has dreams.
Then he gives her angry kisses.
Yeah. And then, oh, Mary.
Which you don't like angry kisses. We found out.
That's for not...
Apparently, you don't like it when I randomly just start yelling at you for nothing and angry kissing you as a joke.
Well, yeah, it's just weird.
Apparently, it's weird now. Abuse.
It's weird in that too. Come on.
Yeah, no, it's real weird. I don't know why. It's a weird. They have a weird relationship.
Yeah.
I feel like if you went back and really studied it, then somebody should write a book about it. Mm-hmm. Should it be us? Maybe. Yeah. So this one, are they getting married after this?
Yes, I think so.
Wait, what?
Why? What do you have written
down? What
down?
did I write down? Oh, I skipped some of my notes. I skipped when on his way to see Mary, he sees Violet.
Oh, nobody knows about Violet.
Yeah, it's true. She gets all flirty with him, and
because
he asks her on a date, and
he wants to take her
out on a picnic walk thing.
Yeah, and they'll take off their shoes and walk in the grass and look up at the stars, and she's like,
"Why?
I don't want my bare feet in the grass." And everybody's like standing around and starts laughing. Why are these people standing around?
Gathered around. They're like in the middle of the street, like in the little grassy area between the street.
The median.
Yeah, median. I couldn't think of the word. And everybody gathers around and starts laughing at him. So weird. Then we go to they're married. Where does he go then? Oh, they're going to go off on their honeymoon.
Yes, they get married. They're going to go on their honeymoon. They've got their tickets. They're on the way to the train station when they pass the bank and they notice there's something weird happening at the bank. There's a big crowd at the bank. So they're like, what's going on? He goes
Looks like a run on the bank.
Yep. He goes to the building and loan. Mm-hmm. It's locked.
Yep.
There are people trying to get in. He's like, oh, that's weird that it's locked. I'm just going to open this door and let everybody in. So everybody goes in, and then Mr. Potter calls.
Yeah.
And he's like, George Bailey, I heard that the building and loan is closed. And he's like, nope, we're open right now.
Yeah, we're good. See ya.
We're open.
Like, if you shut your doors before 6 o'clock, you'll never open them again.
Yep. So it's like the Great Depression.
Yeah.
And
they have no money because they paid back what they could to the bank, which was everything they had.
Yes.
And they still owed money.
Yes, so they have no money, and they're like, you don't understand, the money's not here, it's invested in Joe's house, and in this, and in that, and they're like, no, we want our money.
Yeah.
And there are a couple people who are, not quite as bad, but then there's that one guy, that first guy, Tom, who's just like, I want my whatever, I can't even remember how much it was.
$242.
Okay, I want my $242. I want my $2.
Yeah.
But so, Mary comes in.
Yeah.
She sees that, it's taken George a while. So she comes in, she notices what's going on. She's like, we have money.
Yeah.
So it's like their money that they were going to use for their honeymoon.
Yeah.
And so he's like, all right, we got money. How much do you need just to get us through the weekend?
Yeah.
Just to get through the weekend.
Yeah.
And so that one guy, Tom, of course, is like, $242. He's like, come on, Tom. You know, what? $242. He's like, all right, fine. Here's your $242. I would have been like, I would have said some mean stuff to him.
Yeah. Like, because apparently
he's very nice. And
Potter was buying all the stuff for like 50 cents on the dollar.
Yeah.
And they're like, dude, fine. Get
$120.
Yeah. Go lose money. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll pay everybody else.
Exactly. And then, you know what? They would have had $244 at the end of the day.
That's right.
So he's like, all right, here's your money,
Yeah, it gives, like, people are asking for $20.
Yeah, but he was like, well, Tom.
He pays off Tom.
He basically said, and don't worry about closing your account's still open. Don't worry about it. I would not have been so nice to Tom.
Yeah, Tom's gone.
Yeah. But then all these other people come up, and some people are like, yeah, I can get by with $20. And there's one woman who's like, $17.50. And he's just like, oh my gosh, thank you. And like kisses her on the cheek and everything. But yeah, so they make it all the way through, and they have $2 at the end of the day at 6 o'clock when they close the doors. Mm-hmm. And so they have Mama Dollar and Papa Dollar, and they put them in the vault, and they're like,
go make baby dollars.
Yeah. Not the way it works, but it's okay. It's funny.
They take credit for Mary's idea, saying they were geniuses.
Yeah.
We did it.
Yep.
We're so smart. And
And so then he realizes, he gets a phone call.
Yeah,
That's what it is. He
from
gets a phone
Mrs.
call
Bailey.
from Mrs. Bailey, and he's like,
I want to talk to Mrs.
I don't
Bailey. I
want
want
to
to talk to my wife.
my wife. Mrs. Bailey. Oh, Mary. So he goes and answers the phone, and she's like, come home, George. And he's like, home? We don't have a home.
Well, at this point, they don't have their money. Mm-hmm. They got nothing. They're not going to be able to go on their honeymoon. At this point, you got to start to wonder: is he getting Truman Showed a little? To where he can't leave. Is this a real town?
Yeah.
Is he in a snow globe or something?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Something keeps keeping him in there.
Yeah, he has never been able to leave town.
Yeah.
Why
we don't know.
this?
We don't know that anything actually exists outside of Bedford Falls. So
they keep going somewhere, but they're just going off screen somewhere.
He doesn't get over that bridge. So yeah. I don't know. He goes to where his wife told him he needs to show up, and it's that old house they had thrown rocks at back when they were younger.
Yeah, and she had told him that that she loved that house and she wanted to live in that house someday.
Yeah.
And he's like, ew, why?
Gross, no.
Gross, no. Maybe haunt it, but not live there.
Yeah.
So he goes up to it. He's like, well, this is weird.
Yeah, it says the bridal suite on the door.
Yeah, on the door. And he goes in and he looks around and she's over there,
She's got a full dinner.
Yeah, all cooked.
All laid out on a table.
And then he looks,
chicken cooking.
And then he looks over to the other side and there's the bedroom and he's like, whoa.
Does a double take. Pretty excited. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Bert and Ernie are both there. They've helped fix everything up. They've put a bunch of posters and stuff of different tropical locations and everything on the windows so that when they look out, it looks like they're out at the beach and stuff. But it's raining and...
Yeah, it's raining real hard.
It's leaking from the ceiling and everything. Oh, and then Bert and Ernie go out there. They're standing serenading them from the window. Which is really cute. So that's how they have their little honeymoon.
They do. And it's real sweet. Mm-hmm. So they're married and all that. And we cut a little farther into the future at that point. And we're at Potter's office. Mm-hmm. And his consultant or whatever is telling him that the Bailey Park is cutting into his profits. And they're all the people that were supposed to be paying rent in his slums got houses in Bailey Park now. And they're doing well. And Potter's business is turning into a field now. Well,
isn't Potter's Field an actual name of something?
I don't know, maybe.
I thought a Potter's Field was where... That's why, at the end, when Potter's Field, the graveyard, I thought a Potter's Field was where they bury, I thought Potter's Field was where they buried, criminals or something.
It could be.
But I'm not sure.
Because, for paupers and strangers. But, he says it's actually turning into an actual one now. So, I don't know. But it is a burial place.
Oh, it's for unknown or unclaimed people?
Yeah, paupers and strangers. Like I say. So, what's he going to do about it? I don't know what's he going to do about it. Because we go to Giuseppe's moving into a new place. He's moving up. He bought him a house at Bailey Park. Mm-hmm. He's going to be a homeowner now. And
Giuseppe Martini?
Yep, Giuseppe Martini. And... they take him and his wife and kids over to the new place.
And the goat.
All the furniture and the goat. Gotta have the goat. I said kids.
True. Like a grown goat, though.
Well, I was saying his child. But yeah, they give him the gifts of the bread so that they're never hungry. Salt, so their life always has flavor. And wine, so they can get drunk. I don't remember what the wine was.
So that they can party all the time.
So yeah, it's pretty nice. They're helping out all these people, and Sam shows up at that point, hee-hawing around.
Hee-hawing around like usual.
Yeah. Why was he there? To just brag?
I don't remember.
I'm making a lot of money off this plastic. You should have got in.
I was doing stuff during this, so I don't remember little details.
He had just gotten married, I think. And maybe brought the wife around to show him, and
maybe
he told him he should have invested whenever they talked on the phone that one time, and George didn't, so he doesn't have any money. Potter tries to buy him out. That's his solution, and he says he'll employ him and pay him $20,000 a year. He can go to Europe and all that stuff, and George is like, nah, I don't want to.
Well, George says, I'll think about it.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, I'll give you 24 hours to think about it. And he's like, okay. And he starts to walk out. And then he turns around. He's like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. And yeah, so he's wondering if he made the right decision. Goes home. Mary's singing Buffalo Gals. Mm-hmm. And she tells him that she's pregnant.
Yep.
They're going to have the babies.
And so they have a baby. And then they have another baby. And another baby. And another baby.
4 babies.
So they have 2 boys and 2 girls.
Yep. And then Uncle Billy screws everything up.
Oh my gosh.
He goes to deposit the money for the day or for the week or whatever, month, I don't know. And he's talking crap to Potter because Harry Bailey's getting the presidential medal or something.
Yes.
And he wraps up the money in the newspaper and gives it to Potter. Mm-hmm. And Potter, to his credit, is terrible as he always is. Sees the money.
And says nothing about it.
Yep.
Just goes, guess they'll be looking for that later.
Yep.
Let's see what happens.
Yep. And so that's cool of him. And who's worse? Potter, who knows he's evil and is doing all this stuff, or his associate number 2 guy who pushes him around all the time, sees all this,
it happen and says nothing.
Yeah, he's garbage too.
Oh yeah, they're both garbage. Which I mean, at one point George calls them both garbage anyway. Yeah, pretty much. So yeah. I mean, yeah,
goes for you too. Yeah, and of course that's the day the Beck examiner's there, and this is not a good time for that because someone's going to jail. They think they're cooking the books or something, and they're embezzling, and it's not good. So George gets pissed at Billy because Billy realizes he lost it and can't find it. He's retraced stupid strings on his finger.
Yeah, he's retraced his steps. He can't find it anywhere.
Yeah, and everyone's bugging him, trying to be nice to him, but he's upset. His kids are coming up to him in weird Santa masks which were super creepy. One
of the kids is practicing the piano. One is trying to do I don't know what he's doing, but he keeps asking. He asked how to spell frankincense.
Yeah, he's doing homework.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. The other little kid is just
being a little kid.
And he's like, what does he keep saying?
Excuse me. He's like, well, what do you want?
What do you want? I burped.
It was cute.
It was very cute. And then, of course, I guess she's the youngest. Or no, she's second youngest, maybe.
The youngest girl.
The youngest girl. Zuzu she got sick on the way home because she won a flower at school and she didn't want to
crush it.
Yeah, she didn't want to crush it, so she took her coat off to walk home.
Yeah.
And so she got a little cold.
Yeah. So, yeah, and some petals fall off. She wants him to glue them back on, so he acts like he does. And
he sticks them in his pocket. He's
does
like, all better.
Real dad move.
And he gives it a drink.
Yeah.
He gives the flower a drink. Puts it in some water. And of course the teacher calls to make sure that she got home okay or whatever.
Yeah.
And he lays into her.
Yeah.
It's like, how dare you send this child home without a coat and blah, blah, blah. And she starts crying. And
yeah. Which, as my mom is a teacher, I took the teacher's side. I was like, George, you settle down.
I mean, yeah.
This teacher didn't force her to walk home.
Right.
Kids are dumb.
Exactly.
So maybe you shouldn't have made your kid walk home in the cold.
It's not the teacher's fault. Yeah. And of course, after she hangs up, the teacher's husband gets on the line and starts yelling at him. And it's like, if I see you, I'm gonna get you, George Bailey, or whatever.
Yeah.
I better not see your face around.
Yep. And George is like, bring it.
Yeah, so he's just pissed off at everybody.
Yes.
He
knocks over his models.
Yeah, he yells at the little girl who's playing the piano.
Yeah. Makes everybody cry.
Yeah. Oh, Daddy.
Oh, Daddy.
Yeah.
He's like, what were you trying to ask me?
Yeah.
I apologize.
Nothing, Daddy. And Mary's like, George, what is wrong with you?
Why must you torture the children? Like, what? Does he do this a lot? Is he always torturing the kids?
I don't don't know. It didn't seem like it. They all seemed real happy to see him when he got home. So
they are big fans.
It was just a bad day, you know?
Yeah.
And so he just leaves.
Yeah.
And Mary's like, oh crap, I gotta call the cops or something, you know? I gotta figure out where he's going, figure out what's going on.
Yeah, something's wrong with that dude.
Yep. And so the kids are like, should we pray for Daddy? And she's like, yes.
Yes. Your father is real messed up.
Please.
All of you, go pray.
Exactly. That's when
he goes and gets drunk.
Yep. Well, that's basically when, you know, all the prayers that we heard at the very beginning of the movie, that's all those prayers.
Yeah.
So yeah, he goes to Martini's bar. He gets drunk. Mm-hmm. He says somebody says Bailey.
Yeah, Nick says something about Bailey.
Yeah, and some random guy's like, Bailey? which Bailey? And he's like, George Bailey. And he just punches him.
Yeah, just knocks him out.
And gets kicked out of that guy gets kicked out of the bar and finds out that it was Mr. Welch, I think was his name.
Yeah.
Welch, I can't remember.
Something like that.
But that's the teacher's husband.
Found him pretty easily.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he was looking for him. It was just, you know, he happened to be.
Yeah.
They happened to be there. And yeah, so he got punched. So his lips bleeding.
Yep. So he takes off drunk. Mm-hmm. And they're like, don't, dude, you got to stay here.
Don't go.
Don't go driving drunk now.
But he does, and he runs into a tree, crashes into a tree.
I didn't realize he was driving drunk when I was a kid, honestly.
Yeah.
That's something I didn't realize till later.
Yeah. And then the man whose tree he ran into is pissed off because he's like, this tree was planted by my great-grandfather or whatever. It's like the oldest tree in town or something like that.
But it's a huge tree, and he barely nicked it. You chill out, bro.
Exactly. So anyway, he's like, whatever, and he just walks off, and he's like, you gotta move this car. He's like, nah.
Whatever.
And so he starts walking toward the bridge, and he's looking out into the water.
Oh, we should also mention once he found out he lost the money, he went to Potter and be like, dude, I just need some help. Give me a loan. I'll pay it back.
Oh my gosh, this guy.
And Potter was like, how about I just call the cops on you?
Yeah.
He knows he has the money.
Yes.
He knows where the money is.
This is why I hate Potter so much. Yeah. He's got the money. He knows where the money is. Yeah. He knows what's happening. And he's like, I'll just call the cops on you. And then he's like, I've got life insurance, all this stuff. And he's like, okay, well, what's the equity or whatever? Anyway, he basically says, well, you're worth more dead than alive.
Yeah.
Just tell somebody to kill themselves. Right. Because that's what you're doing. Yeah. And that's the main reason that I'm like,
he's the worst.
You are a scumbag.
He sucks. Yeah. He's awful.
Yes.
So yeah, that's why, and George ends up on the bridge.
Yeah,
and he's thinking about killing himself.
He hears Mr. Potter saying that to him. You know, you're worth more dead than alive.
Yeah.
And so he's like, yeah, I guess I am.
Yeah.
And so he's gonna jump, and then suddenly there's
Clarence has just been hanging out. Yeah.
There's a splash.
Yeah.
And
Help! Clarence can't swim.
Nope. And so George jumps in to save him. And pulls him out, and they go I guess there's a bridge operator or something. Yeah. He brings him inside and lets him warm up and everything. And this is where we really get to meet Clarence.
Yeah. Find out he's an Angel second class.
Second class, but it's an Angel S2.
AS2.
AS2.
Angel second class, which makes no sense
because S would stand for second, but the 2 also stands for second.
I don't know. Angel rankings are weird.
So, we find out a little more about him. Mm-hmm. Apparently he died after The Adventures of Tom Sawyer was written, but before
it's like his favorite book.
But before The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn was written, because he's talking about Mark Twain's new book. Yeah. That he can't wait to read. On.
I couldn't tell though. Is that what it was that he was waiting on Huck Finn, or was he talking to Mark Twain up in heaven? And Mark Twain's been writing up in heaven. He's been writing a new book up in heaven. He's gonna get it going. I figure it's probably the Huckleberry Finn thing, but I also had that thought while I was watching this time.
I
don't know. when maybe he's going to get a special new book.
I don't know.
New heaven release.
But I mean, the thing is, he's talking about Mark Twain's new book, which is not a thing because Mark Twain is dead.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Well,
he doesn't have a new book coming out on Earth.
Right.
Yeah.
But once you get to heaven, you get a free copy of Mark Twain's new book. So, yeah, they're talking, and he's trying to convince George that, you know, his life has meaning. Mm-hmm. But George's like, I probably shouldn't have even been born.
Oh, and one of the other things, the bridge operator guy, when he keeps saying, you know, I jumped in to save you, George.
Yeah.
And George is like, no, you were the one drowning. I saved you. And he's like, no, I saved you from suicide. And the guy's like, suicide? You can't commit suicide. That's illegal. It's like, what are you going to do if somebody commits suicide?
Law, that's a thing.
I mean,
like, we don't want to get these people mental help. We'll just arrest them for trying suicide.
And also,
we'll scare them into it.
And also,
you're going to be dead.
Yeah. I don't know. That's always been one of those,
so
like,
dumb.
What?
There's no part of it that makes sense. It's so stupid.
That's illegal.
Yeah, it's just people that don't understand things trying to make laws about something.
It's very funny. Yeah. So he's trying to convince him that his life is worth something.
Yeah, and the bridge, I can't remember why the bridge operator just took off. He's like, I didn't take a walk.
Because I can't remember either. He says something and...
Maybe because he said his age or something.
Clarence says something and he's like, this is weird. I'm getting out of here. So he just nopes it out.
Darts.
So George is like, it would have been better if I'd never been born.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's an interesting concept.
Yep.
Okay.
Wish is granted, bro.
Wish granted. There you go.
And
You've never been born.
Snowing.
It's, yeah.
Which we are very confused about. It only snows when George is alive. Does he affect the weather? It's weird.
I don't know. See, because it could also be that time has stopped at that point, but and what happens next is not part of their timeline or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. It's weird.
I don't know. It is
But
weird.
yeah, obviously, I guess maybe it's just that George Bailey, it only snows because George Bailey was alive at this point in time. I don't know.
Either way, it's weird.
It's weird.
Yeah.
But he realizes that he can hear Clarence out of his bad ear. And he's like, well, that's weird. I guess jumping in the cold water must have fixed it.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Jumping in broke it. Why not fix it?
Why not fix it, you know? So, I don't know.
Yeah.
But then his lip isn't bleeding anymore.
Yep.
It's fine. It's just normal.
Yep.
So
it's all healed up. Their clothes are dry.
Yep.
They're ready to go.
They're ready to go. So they head out. First place they stop, I think, is the bar.
Well, he tried to find his car. His car's
not there. Yeah.
The tree's fine.
The tree's fine, and he freaks that old man out again because he's like,
"You hit my tree?"
He's like, "It looks fine. I don't see any damn. Whatever. You're crazy. Go home. You're drunk."
Yep.
So then they do go to the bar. Mm-hmm. The bar is
Nick's.
It's called Nick's.
Yeah.
Do they notice that when they walk in?
I didn't. Yeah. I don't know.
So they go to the bar that is supposed to be Martini's. Nick is there at the bar, which he's the bartender, so he's supposed to be.
Was his accent different from the beginning? I can't remember.
I don't know.
Because he's got a real weird accent now.
And I can't remember.
Why don't you two mugs get on here?
I was like, I can't remember what he sounded like, but now that you've said that.
He's there. He's ordering a drink, George is, and then Clarence wants a mulled wine and a flaming punch, rum punch.
A flaming rum punch.
Yeah. It's just like, okay, you're ridiculous.
And then Nick is like, we serve hard liquor for men who want to get drunk quick. Or something like that. And it's like, okay. So George is like, he'll just have what I'm having.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, that's more like it.
And somehow Clarence brings up that he doesn't have any money.
Yes.
So Nick's like, okay.
You gotta get
two wise guys. And again, but first we see Cower come in, right?
Gower.
Right then. Gower, sorry.
Yeah.
Well, he's pretty cowardly. No, okay. He's an old drunk.
He's like a
homeless man. Because his son died and he poisoned that kid.
Yep.
Because
George wasn't there to stop him. Yeah, to stop him. So, but of course, George is like, Mr. Gower.
Yeah.
And, he's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
He's
Even Gower's like, get away from me.
Exactly. And Nick's like, if you know that guy, then you must be just as bad as he is. And so, then he keeps talking about Martini. He's like, where's Martini? I want to talk to Martini. And he's like, I'm the one who owns this joint, you know? It's like, okay, that's not how it is in my world, but okay. And what gets me is he's like, well, you keep calling me Nick. Why do you keep... It's like,
I don't
your name
know
is
you.
Nick. But he's like, I don't know you. I've never met you in my life.
But yeah, his name is on the bar.
Yeah.
So I don't know why he seems pretty comfortable with his name.
Right? Anyway. But, so yeah, they get kicked out.
Yeah. And he's looking for his papers and everything. He has no papers, no license, no money. So he was going to not have any money either.
Well, he didn't realize that. 'Cause, you know, he thought he had that
But
stuff.
I feel like Clarence probably should have said something.
Yeah, he probably should have.
Clarence is kind of dumb. He's oblivious, I guess. No Zuzu's pedals either.
Yep, Zuzu's pedals are gone because Zuzu doesn't exist.
She doesn't.
So then he goes into town because he's looking for... What's he looking for? His mom, I guess?
He does go by his mom's place,
He goes by the... Yeah, he goes
runs
to see
a boarding house.
Ma Bailey's boarding house.
Yep.
She doesn't know him, of course. And he says something about Uncle Billy, and she's like, if you know Uncle Billy, then...
Yeah,
he's in the insane asylum. So you must know him from there, and I don't want you around here.
Yeah.
Bert and Ernie don't know him, don't know who he is.
Ernie's wife left him and took his kid.
Oh, that was one of my favorite parts. When he's like, I've been to your house
like 100 times.
Like 100 times. He's like, my wife left me. Because it's like,
you see my wife?
You've been seeing my wife? It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
He gets Ernie to take him to his house.
Yep.
And of course he gets there and it's abandoned. It's the old house again.
And he goes in there searching for everything.
Yeah, he's like,
it
Mary,
looks terrible.
Zuzu,
yeah, like
Tommy.
Do you really think she's there in this like spider infested
building that's like it? No, dude.
What's there, bro?
What's wrong with you?
Move along.
So Bert and Ernie are Bert is gonna arrest him, I guess, and so they're trying to take him in, and Clarence.
Runs interference.
Runs in and like bites somebody.
Yeah, he bites Bert.
Yeah, he bites Bert.
So George can get away.
And so Bert is struggling with Clarence and Ernie is just like watching. And then Clarence just disappears because he's like, Joseph, help me.
Which was weird because Clarence appeared.
He appeared out of nowhere.
Teleported in, but he can't teleport out apparently.
I don't know.
So yeah, I don't know how this magic works.
No. But anyway, they're both like, what? What just happened?
And Bert fights with the ground a lot longer than he should. Mm-hmm. He tried to arrest that snow pretty hard. And then I think they go to the cemetery at that point, right?
Yes, which is supposed to be, the cemetery was supposed to be where
Bailey Park is.
But it's not. It's a cemetery.
Yeah, which also made me ask, did the Baileys tear up a cemetery to make Bailey Park? Or did that come in later? I was curious. There were a lot of graves.
There were a lot of graves. And also, whose grave did they go see?
They went and saw Harry's.
Harry, who would have died when he was a little boy.
Uh-huh.
So, he would have been buried there when he was a little boy.
Yeah.
Meaning a long time before it became Bailey Park.
Yeah.
So
they hopefully they just relocated the cemetery.
Maybe. I don't know.
Or all those houses are haunted. That's probably why the land was so cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he goes by the Building and Loan, which is not the Building and Loan anymore. It's like a dime a dance kind of place. Violet is being taken into custody or whatever.
Yeah. I like the thoughts of what evil was back then. Is like, okay, the strip clubs, okay, I see that. And then a pawn shop, like, oh, okay. Like, it's just a pawn shop. I don't know why that's so crazy.
People are just having to pawn everything. I don't know.
No. I can get a used guitar.
And it's not really a strip club either. It's a dime a dance. So it's like you go in and you dance with, they're like dance girls, but they're not like stripping. They're just, it's weird.
It is weird. And there were casinos and such.
Yeah.
And all that. But yeah, it was like, it was bad for that time, I guess.
And we didn't say that Bedford Falls.
Vegas.
We didn't say that Bedford Falls is not Bedford Falls either.
Oh yeah, it's Pottersville.
Yeah. So then, of course, the only other person that he wants to try to find is Mary.
Right. And Clarence does not want to tell him what happened to Mary. It is so horrible.
It is horrible. It's horrific.
It will ruin George forever. And it ruined me. I could not put up with it.
So,
I had to leave the room.
You find out that Mary is not only an old maid.
Oh, no.
She's also a librarian.
No. No. It's not true. It's so stupid.
And she wears glasses.
And puts her hair up.
No.
Oh, gosh.
Oh,
it's
my
terrible.
gosh. So, yeah, Mary never married. She...
How ironic.
And, yeah, so...
Yeah.
He goes up to her, and she freaks out and starts screaming.
Which she should.
Yeah.
Some dude just running up, grabbing
right?
you.
So she freaks out, screams. Everybody, comes running.
Yeah.
The cops are there. George ends up punching some guy or two guys.
I think he punched... Did he not punch Bert?
I don't know. I thought it was somebody else, but I'm not sure.
I think he punched Bert.
Well, if you punched Bert was real fast.
He got back up.
And real fast at getting back up because as George is running away, Bert starts just shooting into the crowd.
Just into the street. Just people walking around.
What are you doing, bro?
Bert has to take him down. That's why I think he got punched. He was so flustered. He was like, I just got to start shooting.
I guess so.
At whatever's around.
Oh my gosh. But anyway, George manages to get away. He runs back toward the river. Mm-hmm. And
he's on the bridge.
He's on the bridge and he wants to live again.
I want to live again.
I want to live again.
Please.
So he breaks down. He says he wants to live again, and then it starts snowing again.
Mm-hmm. And Bert shows up.
And Bert shows up, and he's like, I don't want to have to hit you again. I guess it was him. He hit. And Bert's like, what the heck are you talking about, bro? I'm just trying to find you,
Yeah.
And he's like, what happened to you, George? Your mouth's bleeding. He's like, my mouth's bleeding. My mouth's bleeding, Bert. And he's like, Zuzu's petals. They're here, So he's back. Everybody knows who he is. He goes home.
Takes off running. He runs to his car, sees that it's there, goes,
just keep going.
And then he runs to the town sign that now says Bedford Falls, and he goes, again. The same yell twice. I feel like they were like, okay, we're going to do 2 shots here, and then we're going to pick whichever one we like the best.
We like
one
them
of them. One of them, you should go to your car and yell, you're happy, and then another one, for the sign. And we'll see which one's better. And he's like, yeah! And he goes, yeah! Like, both. Keep them in.
Put them right next to each other, too.
Yes. Really line them up.
I love it. I love this movie. It's so great.
Yeah. And he's running around the street. Everybody's
like,
yelling
Merry Christmas. Yeah.
Merry Christmas, y'all belling alone.
So, yeah.
And then he gets home, and the cops are at the house.
Yes.
Which, who let the cops in?
It's the cops and, the bank.
The cops, the bank examiner the press.
All kinds of people.
Who let him in? Mary's not there.
No.
And just the children are there.
And he's just like, where are my kids? He doesn't care. He's just like, whatever.
It's like, you're probably here to arrest me. You probably got a warrant. And so he's so happy. So he goes, finds all the kids. Mm-hmm. Zuzu's feeling better.
She's feeling better, so she's
happy
good.
about that. He loves that little stupid ball on the stairs that keeps coming off.
Yeah, that keeps coming off in his hand. And then Mary comes home. Mm-hmm. And she's happy to see him.
Yeah. She's like, guess what? You'll never guess what happened. Mm-hmm. And he's like, let him in, whoever. Mm-hmm. And then all these people start coming in. They set up a table, put a basket on the table.
Yes.
And he's like, it's a miracle, George. But they started, when word started getting around, everybody wanted to help. And they started coming out. And so all these people start coming in. And they heard that George was in need of money. Mm-hmm. So
they want to help out. So they're all donating money. And they're just throwing cash into a basket.
Puts money in that basket. And it's a fun scene. Just all the characters we've seen already. We saw Gower comes in, he called in all the credit lines and stuff. And the maid comes in.
Martini
comes in. The maid comes in. And she's like, She was
I was
saving up
this
for
money for a divorce for if I ever get married.
if I ever get a husband. Like, what is your life? she's something.
And then they get a telegram from Sam.
Yeah.
Who's given a bunch of money.
Yeah.
And of course, at the end, he has to say, hee-haw.
Yeah, it's up to $25,000. So, yeah.
So, they're good.
They're good, and everybody cheers, and they have some champagne. That kid plays that song she's been practicing. His daughter, what song was that? I don't know. It doesn't matter. And then they're all singing Auld Lang Syne.
Yeah, I can't remember what they sing before that.
And tell me if you think this sounds right. But that, the male, I don't know what his job was. Maybe he was like a secretary as well at the building and loan. That's not Uncle Billy. Mm-hmm. Does he look like a Who? From
I wasn't paying attention.
From like the Grinch. I think he would make a good Who.
I wasn't paying attention, but also the bank examiner put some money in there too.
He does, and the cop rips up the warrant and puts it in there, and Harry shows up.
Yep.
And he makes a toast to George.
Yes.
It's like, to my brother, the richest man in town.
Yeah.
And I got choked up. it gets me every time. Every time I get emotional about it. It's really nice. And he sees a copy of Tom Sawyer in there that he got from Clarence, who signed it.
Yes.
And a bell rings. And the Zuzu's, of course, does the line.
A teacher said, every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings. Mm-hmm.
Which is a weird thought. Because Clarence confirmed that's the case. That happens, apparently. Which, a lot of angels getting wings. I hear a lot of bells all the time.
Well, also... at Nick's bar after they kick him out because he heard Clarence say something like that.
Yeah.
He's like, he keeps hitting the register so it'll ding.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm just handing out wings.
I'm giving out wings.
But yeah, so he realizes that the bell rang because Clarence got his wings. And he's like, attaboy, Clarence. And that's that. That's the end.
Yeah.
Very happy ending. Everything's good, except for Mr. Potter still has that $8,000.
Yeah, and he never got his comeuppance, which is the worst part of the movie.
Exactly. It's so annoying.
Something should have happened to him. And that's what we were talking about Dana Carvey. Because there's an SNL skit.
Yes.
Where they're the lost ending or something.
Yes, it's the lost ending of It's Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
And it starts off, it's like the way it's like the ending. And then Uncle Billy comes in. And he's like, I just remembered where the money is. Yep. And they realize that Mr. Potter has it. So, I mean, it's just real quick. Yeah. They just all go to...
You're like, let's get him.
Let's get him. So they all go to the bank.
Yeah.
To Mr. Potter's office. He's in there. And they come in and they confront him. And then they just start beating him.
Just beat him up so bad.
They start beating him. And then he stands up and he's like, oh, you're not even a cripple.
He just starts throwing him around.
Yeah, it's like clearly a dummy. Yeah. But basically they're all getting to hit him and everything. So like Mary's sitting there like curb stomping him and all this stuff. But yeah, that's the lost ending.
That's so great.
It's always nice to watch that, to be like, yes, he finally got what he deserved.
We gotta watch that after this. I really want to watch that.
I looked it up. I have it on my phone right now. So nice. We can watch it as soon as we're done.
Oh man.
But also I have a doll of George Bailey, which sounds really weird.
Mr. Potter.
No, of George Bailey.
Yeah,
but
that's cool.
I don't know where it is. I could probably guess where it is. It's at my house somewhere. You know, my mom's house.
Yeah.
But it's George Bailey, and then he has like the basket of money.
Oh, yeah.
Because sometimes you'll get a doll and it'll have like an accessory or something. That's the accessory it has. It's the basket of money. Yeah. It may still be in the box. I'm not sure.
Oh.
But
might be worth something now.
I wouldn't sell it.
You don't want to sell that thing.
No,
yeah.
Definitely not.
That's cool.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah. So those have been our favorite Christmas movies.
Yeah.
Well, maybe our favorites.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Some of our favorites.
Yeah. So I enjoyed watching those.
And I know my mom really likes this. Really likes It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah, I think
it's one of her favorites.
My mom does too.
I mean, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
It's just good.
It bombed hard when it was released, but it was like released in January or something, like after Christmas. Like, why would you? I don't know why you did that, but it's definitely done better since. Mm-hmm. And everybody seems to really love it, which is good. Yep. Because it's great.
It is.
So, do we want to do a snack for this, or do we want to?
I mean, I've already got
Christmas.
I've already got it in here.
Well, then we better do it.
Just have to find it. Oh, there it is.
We have Flaming Rum Punch from
No. It's like a Hershey's cookies and cream, but instead of cookies and cream, it's sugar cookie. Mm-hmm. So it's sugar cookie flavored white cream with cookie pieces.
All right. I like the red and green.
Yeah, it's very cute.
Pretty. Mm-hmm. So let's give it a shot.
Ready? Pretty good.
Not bad.
Not as good as cookies and cream.
No, but it's pretty good.
It's good.
It is good. I like it.
Mm-hmm. Don't really have much to say about it, but...
Yeah, because it is so much like cookies and cream. Just... such a different flavor. I mean, it's not such a different flavor. But it's just, I don't know. It's like different. I don't know why it's different. I can't explain why it's different.
Well, I mean, it's sugar cookie. It's not chocolate cookie.
It doesn't like taste that much different. Mm-mm. But there's just something different. Anyway.
It's good though.
Yeah, but it's good. It's a good alternative. Mm-hmm. If suddenly we ran out of cookies and cream, I wouldn't mind having that. So what would you give that?
It's very sweet.
Very sweet. And I really like the look of it, though. Mm-hmm. That got some points.
I'm going to give it... I think I'm going to give it a 9.
Really? It's an 8 for me.
I was going to say 8.5, but...
Yeah. I was going to give it a 7, but I really like how it looks. So I'm giving it more for that. So good job.
It's good. I like
Nailed it.
Nice job, Hershey's.
I think I like sugar cookie flavored stuff.
Because those M&Ms were good.
They were good. So...
I don't really like sugar cookies that much, though. That's the weird thing.
I like them fine, but they're not ever like... I'm like, man, I could really go for a sugar cookie right now.
But...
Not bad.
That's good.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is our Christmas episode.
Yeah.
We're hope...
Extra long one.
Yeah.
Again.
I mean, we're going to be cutting a lot of stuff out. We'll see how long it actually is. But, yeah, we're hoping you're having a great holiday season wherever you are. There's something new to check out. Our YouTube channel is up. Thanks to the hard work of Krista. She's put up a lot of good stuff over there.
I mean, it's pretty much what you get on the podcast, but, whatever.
Still takes time.
It does take time. It does. So I've got all of our episodes already uploaded and up there, so you can watch them. I mean, there's not really much to see, but you can listen to them like you would a podcast if you want to use it on your computer instead of through your phone or whatever. And we also have, right now we have one extra video, but we're about to have 2, so I don't know if it will come up, if it will happen before this episode comes out or after, because I haven't edited it yet. Last month we had the Scandinavian Universal Yums box that we opened, and we had we had like a bag of potato chips in one of our episodes, and for our Thanksgiving episode. And so we opened the rest of the stuff in the box and tasted all of that. It was a
fun video. Yes, had a lot of fun.
It had a lot of
very funny stuff.
Laughing in it.
Yeah.
And we have another one that is, like I said, maybe up by the time this episode comes out. It may not. It may be like the same day.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
It should be real soon.
Should be very, very soon. So.
And what is the YouTube channel?
It is.
We're having fun. Not We're Having Fun podcast.
I don't know, because it's probably some like weird like UQZ78 kind of thing. But I don't.
But just whatever the
I can't remember exactly what we called the thing.
Let's see. Find it right quick. It's We're Having Fun podcast.
There we go.
So yeah, go check it out. Go subscribe. Go like our videos. We'd really appreciate it. Mm-hmm.
You can leave comments on there. As far as I know, we only have 1 comment so far, but that's cool.
But it was a great comment.
It was a really fun comment.
Love you, John. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. You get to see us just be silly, and I enjoy filming those with you.
Yeah, so we should be opening. Well, we'll get a box of snacks once a month.
Yep. So we'll be trying them out. And we might do some other stuff.
Yep.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah. Depends what time allows, I guess. Mm-hmm. So you can also go and follow us on Twitter and talk to us at Having Fun Cast and Facebook Having Fun Pod.
Yep. Or you can send us an email at havingfunpod@gmail.com.
Yeah. So that's it. We hope you have a great holiday season. Have a Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. Go have fun.
And we will see you in the new year.
Yeah. See you next time.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.